Hey everybody, Jay here. Welcome back. Alright, part 2 will be covering the installation process. Before we get started, there's a couple things that you need. First, you need a Mac. You could do like I did and find a friend with a Mac and use his. Or if your computer is capable of running VMware, you could try emulating Snow Leopard and do it that way, but I had no luck with it because my old computer was AMD processor and VMware player refused to run OS X under that. But like I said, you need a Mac. Once you get that, there's a few files that we need. First, you need a copy of Mavericks. Now, OS X Mavericks is a free upgrade to anyone who purchased the previous version. If you're using a computer that's capable of upgrading to Mavericks, you could just go to the App Store and download it. But if you're using a computer that's not supported like I was, which was a older MacBook Pro, a 32-bit processor, it did not support it. What you can do, you can download a copy of Mavericks from wherever. Just Google it and you should be able to find it. It's not difficult. Copy it to your application folder and it'll work that way. So that's what I did and I know it works. But just make sure where you get it from is a reputable place and read the comments under it. Just make sure you get the right one because you don't want to waste almost 6 gigs of your bandwidth on downloading something that will not work. So just a heads up. Alright, next thing that we need is a couple files. Link will be provided in the description below. Just go to TonyMac86.com and first make sure you register and make sure you log in. Go under downloads. There's two things that you'll need. First, you need UniBeast 3.0.1 and click on the download link. The next thing you need is multi-beast, the Mavericks, so 6.0.1. So click that. Click download. Okay, once that's finished, you could drag and drop those two files you just downloaded to your desktop. You could delete the zip files once they are extracted. Alright, the third thing we need is a USB flash drive. I'm using a SanDisk 32 gig, but anything 8 gigs and over is good. Now it's time for us to prep our USB drive. Under applications, other, disk utility will definitely look different under Snow Leopard. So that's the drive that I'm using, this 32 gig SanDisk USB flash drive. I'll click on that. Click under the partition tab. Under partition layout, choose one. Name it all uppercase USB. Under format, make sure it's under macOS Extended Journal. And under option, just make sure it's under master boot record. Click OK. Click apply and partition. And just give it a minute. When that's over, you could exit out of disk utility. Now it's time for us to make our bootable USB installer. That's where UniBeast comes in. Just double click. Press continue. Now that's the important information. If you want to read it, it tells you exactly what to do. Click continue, continue, and agree. Now choose the USB drive we just created. Just make sure it's the proper one. It's the 32 gig. Click continue, and click App Store Mavericks. Continue, and install. On average, UniBeast takes about 20 minutes for the install, so just keep that in mind. It's not frozen or anything, just be patient and wait for it to finish. I'm guessing it's all based on your read and write speed of your computer, so the faster that is, the faster it will copy, so just be patient. Alright, once that's finished, there's one more thing we need to do. Just drag and drop your multi-beast folder inside the USB stick. And now we're ready for the install. The next step is to prepare our motherboard BIOS for the install. If you're using the exact same board as I am, you could press F12 to enter this page, which is the boot option. If you scroll down, select enter setup. There's only a few things that we need to change. Under MIT, to go down under advanced frequency settings and choose extreme memory profile, and make sure it's under profile 1. Under peripheral, scroll down and choose SATA mode selection. Make sure it's under AHCI. And last, under BIOS feature, Intel virtualization technology. Personally, I leave this enabled. I've heard it causes boot problems, but I've had it on because the computer's already running and I'm running VMware. I just leave that enabled, but if you don't plan on using it, just disable it. Okay, make sure the flash drive we created earlier is plugged in. Save your settings and reboot. Again, if you're using this board, you could press F12 for the boot option. Choose the SanDisk USB flash drive, and once you get inside the bootloader, choose the USB option and press enter. And just give it a minute, and you should see the Apple logo. In about 5 minutes or so, your installer should pop up. Just choose your right option, your right language. Press the arrow key, press continue. And if you want to read it or not, press agree. Once we get into that, under that option, it's time to format our drive. Under disk utilities, and choose your hard drive, which is a 500 gig drive that I'll be using. Select it. Under partition, make sure it's under OSX journaled, and you could name it whatever. I chose to name it Mavericks, and press erase. Once that's finished, we could exit out of disk utility, which should take us back to the install OS screen. Press continue and install. Alright, now this the installing process takes about, on average, half an hour, so at this point just take a break. Alright, once the installer is finished, the computer will reboot. Again, if you're using this board, F12 to get to your boot option. We have to reselect the USB flash drive again. Press enter. Now instead of choosing USB, we choose Mavericks, which is our OSX drive that we installed it Mavericks to. Now just give it about 5 minutes or so. The installer will start it back up again. At this point, the install is done. It's all about choosing your right language, your time zone, your password, and just all these personal settings that we have to enter. So username, passwords, and all of that. So just customize it to your liking, and once everything's set up, we'll have a fully functioning Mavericks computer. there you have it, a fully updatable macOS Mavericks. See you in part 3 for post installation.